planets, they said. Why y'all laughing? Where sexuality matters and opinions don't. But it's the other way around. I'm Ian, your resident homosexual, with Alejandra. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Fantastic. Amber, our resident lesbian.
Lesbian, gracias, y too.
Dustin, and our guest host, Miss Barbarella.
Hi.
And I need to point something out, educate this panel real quick. Because in the late 60s, and this is my first question to you, there was a movie made with Jane Fonda called Barbarella. Which is like a gay iconic, like she was glamorous in it. Are you named after Barbarella?
Angels don't make love. They are.
Yeah, see? Hello, you were named after Barbarella.
It was actually the late 70s. I'm not that old.
No, I thought it's like 60. Oh, really?
No, 70s.
Oh. So you were actually named after Barbara?
No, my given name was Barbara. My rave name was Barbarella, and I kept it. So I guess I was named in the 90s.
You were a raver.
You're a raver.
Yes.
Nice.
Sorry.
Did you save some of the clothing?
Oh, God. No, I ruined it at Burning Man. Yeah.
Light it on fire at the end.
Right.
Wait, so did you dress up like wait, is a raver in like Club Kids? Those are kind of like around the same.
Remember
Like
riches
it's
back in the
different.
day?
Hedonism?
Yes.
Oh, I love hedonism.
Glow sticks in the mouth, pacifiers, lollipops.
Ecstasy.
A friend named Rainbow Sprinkles.
Everybody
Do you have an animal tail and everything? Like when you had a
No,
Burning
that
Man?
came a little later. That was a little
okay.
anime-ish. Yeah.
No, the hedonism days were fun though. That was like
yeah.
Bishop.
yeah.
In the house.
So you used to go to hedonism?
Yes.
Oh, we probably
I would drive down from LA when I lived in West Hollywood just to go on a Thursday night.
It was.
Yeah.
It was the night of nights to go out, like
Was
on
it
a
at
Thursday
Montage?
night. No, it was
Riches.
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 I went
Yeah.
to Montage
That's
too.
right.
That was a whole.
That's when I started doing drag because I could not get in there because I wasn't legal enough to go in there, so I started dressing up.
Really?
Yeah, wearing heavy makeup to use
That's
my
what they
friend's
tell
ID.
young girls. Wear more makeup, you look older.
Yeah,
Well, wait. Did you have an ID though to get in?
that's my friend's ID.
Oh, well, see, and that's also back in the days where they had private security. It was like people you knew at the door.
Yeah.
So it's all like, oh, hey, come on in, kind of thing, and that's
Yeah.
what it was. So, oh, good. Well, we're happy to have you.
Thanks, it's
Who
so
are
good to be
you?
here.
Who are you? What are you? What do you
I'm
do?
Awesome. That's all you need to know.
Oh, well, hey.
Solid explanation.
Yeah.
Well, interesting.
I'm a columnist and editor and TV media personality, kind of, but most importantly, I am a resident of the Hillcrest area and a San Diegan. So
Oh,
that's pretty
perfect.
much.
So you're in the Hillcrest nose and like the little
I try
hub
to
up
be.
here.
It's hard to.
Do you go out a lot here?
Sometimes. Yeah.
Where's
I mean,
your,
it depends.
Or what's your
Oh my
normal
gosh, I'm
hangout?
trying
Where
to-
can people find Barbarella?
The Flame.
not wearing mine.
Where had I been most recently? What? The Flame. And Members. And
Perfect.
here, the Brass Rail.
And we've crossed paths before.
At
You know you're dying to
Okay,
go
okay,
there,
okay,
bitch.
okay.
I'm gonna
You
call
know
you
you
out
are
right now
dying to
because
go
I know
there.
some of our viewers that watch the show are wondering this too. So I did this show years ago, Tantrums and Tiaras, Battle of the Bar
2,
Queens.
3 years
Best show
ago?
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And
So good.
Amber saw it too. So I did this character, Olive One More.
It was okay. I guessed
Yeah.
it. I guessed it.
But that's not the point of the story.
Okay, sorry.
And you were a judge.
I was one of the judges.
So
yeah.
and Olive did not even place.
Why
she
didn't
lost
Olive?
miserably. Amber, you were not.
I was so mad. I stormed out.
Olive
was the best.
That was great.
I'm not just saying that because Ian's right here. What, she had that costume where she came out for the evening gown
Martini
costume,
glass.
and she comes out like this, and she's a giant martini glass, and her hair was up, and she had an olive in her giant wig, and she comes out, she's walking like mermaid because of the stem of the glass was
And you
real
were
narrow.
great.
And then all of a
bless your heart.
sudden, she takes her arms down, and it's a hoop dress. And she's
It turned into
fabulous.
this fabulous.
Oh,
like,
it was the coolest.
You and the one with the donkey.
Oh,
Were
Pac-
my
oh yeah.
Come on, they brought a donkey, a live donkey on
Really?
On stage, yeah.
That actually.
No,
like,
That was Paco. What was
Yes.
his- No, I need a green card. I need a
yeah,
green
yeah.
card.
Card. Well, look at you know
So
the show.
you guys
I
were the
didn't
two
remember.
top ones, so you can blame all
Oh.
the other judges.
Oh well, I was just trying to figure out why
I watch it
lost.
every Christmas. Every
Bitch,
Christmas
we gotta
Eve.
bring every judge in here.
I know,
Asking the same
right? Next
fucking
week, our next
question.
guest host will be Todd Gloria.
Every Christmas Eve, Chris from Baja Betty's plays it, and we all watch it. That
Oh,
show.
really?
So I'm quite familiar. I've seen it more times than you, I think.
Oh, I want to
Yeah. Oh, good. Well, I'm glad that you enjoyed the show. I wish they would
I
bring it back
remember
too.
who
So
you were.
fat hog. That's
Really?
actually scary though.
It was awesome.
That were you doing?
No.
Because they had those pictures on, you know.
The dream sequence.
So there's been some like controversial kind of things in the news, and you did something interesting this morning, right?
Yeah, I did two things completely unrelated. I was on NBC to talk about Ladybug Day at the Botanic Garden, and then right after that, I was
Again,
on
you're in the
Togo.
know.
Right. The you know, for men from 40 to 60 is their audience, straight guys, conservative guys, to talk about this Brittany Kilgore case, the young lady who was found recently dead.
Right.
There's no nice way to say it. It's just
Yeah, and she was like
passed away.
She was missing.
in a ditch.
It happened like last weekend. Like she was missing for I think like 4 days, right?
Yeah, she was missing, but then somebody attempted suicide, and in the suicide note, it explained how the person died and where the body was. So that's still, but things aren't known. It's still in the news, and the reason I was talking about it was because apparently she may or may not have been kinky, and so there was this whole attack on the community. Anything kink, anything alternative, and as a dominatrix, also.
Well, hello, Barbara.
You're a dominatrix?
Yeah, so I
don't believe you.
David,
Where's the whip?
Oh, I love you, Barbara.
So I carry that in my car to keep the people who wash it in order.
Who washed what?
We have a prop guy.
Yeah, girl.
I brought my prop guy. Yeah. Damn. So the host, remembering that I had these
I'm getting no ideas.
Yeah, right? Called me and said, hey, you know about the scene, and I actually moderate a lot of discussions
I've got an itch.
in the kink scene in the video games about safety and whatnot. So I was like, let me speak to this because there is a lot of misconceptions and it's not about that.
So, with the kid, I mean, because there's obviously a question for all of us in this, but getting into the case, because I mean, I kind of read up on it today too, and I mean, interesting. I didn't know that the whole kink thing was playing an aspect in this case.
It only was because some random neighbor said, oh, they're involved in a sex slave ring, which is human trafficking. That's not even
Right, exactly.
different.
That's the whole reason it was on the news, right?
Yeah, it's tittillating. Would they care if,
titillating.
they would, but not as much. They go for that because, ooh, what? People have sex?
Yeah, they
Oh my
always
God,
try. I
in
feel
San
like
Diego?
in multiple cases, like it's happened before. Like when the whole, like I'm going way back, like the Westerfield case and all that stuff. When that was like back in Poway, where the girl was kidnapped and taken away, and they tried to make the parents seem more to blame because the parents are swingers. But because
right.
the parents are swingers has nothing to do with the fact that their child was kidnapped and killed by a crazy person. But it's like they try to put down the victims.
It's irrelevant. That's what I said
completely
this
irrelevant.
morning on the radio. I'm like, it's completely irrelevant. It's irresponsible to suggest it's, there are just as many. I ran statistics. There's 13,500 murders in the country last year, right? 89 were involved in romantic triangles. None of them mention kink or BDSM or anything like that. So I was like, come on, you can anybody can get jealous.
But do you guys? I mean, do you guys think that like by when you're I mean it's true because like at least I know in my community, in the gay community, like there is a lot of like that kind of like wild play and bondage and all that, and sometimes it does lead to accidents. Do you think like if you go into this behavior and you're doing it like so hardcore into it that it could lead into like some kind of crime thing? I mean
You could take anything
question.
to an extreme.
Yeah.
Anything. Even being
But that
completely
have a heart
boring.
attack.
that depends on the person.
yeah.
Haven't
Like,
you
I don't
seen
think
that
it's
movie,
on the
Body of
society
Evidence?
itself.
The whole concept in town is safe, sane, and sensual. And the local clubs have more CPR classes and safety classes. We've had workshops where they bring in a cop about legality. If a neighbor sees you tying somebody up, they can call the cops to close your blinds. And lawyers about your rights. I mean, I think they're more informed than the gay community. More informed than your average, vanilla person.
Are there clubs that are specifically for kinky people?
Yes.
Yeah, Alex, are there?
Yes.
There are in San Diego.
Do they give lessons?
Yes.
Well,
I can tell you how to join.
And then there's
is it done?
places that have like certain rooms assigned for that kind of play in different kind of
Yeah,
plays.
private parties.
Oh, in San Francisco, I've been to one of those. Yeah.
Power exchange.
Power exchange? I've walked past it.
And apparently we all have something in common.
It is titillating. It goes to that. Everything goes to sex and drugs, and
Yeah, and I think that the media will try and find in any kind of case, like with Westerfield, whatever, they'll try and find any weird I shouldn't say weird, but anything that the normal society is not used to, and media will try and pull from that and put that label on it, like this is what happens if you with
They tried to say that to me this morning. Like, don't you cause pain as a dominatrix? I said, not always. Sometimes you just tie somebody up and keep them in a safe place. Sometimes you just tell them to lick your shoe. That's not going to kill anybody, you know?
Yeah.
But sometimes, like,
depending on the shoe.
if you're like if they're asking you to cause the pain, it's because they're enjoying it, you know. So it's not really pain.
Safe, consensual. Yeah.
Something like that is probably honestly more of a release for someone than say no. But I'm saying then like what if someone had like urges like that or something like that and didn't find a way to go release them, and they built up and maybe they do something actually like worse in the end because they had something there and didn't like take it out in a better, safer way.
They have this
educated. It's good education for me.
So then maybe like they may have this fantasy about something and they want to unleash that fantasy, but they're building up and they haven't found that outlet. You think they could possibly go into doing something?
Yeah, maybe if someone wants to do like something like that, like role playing and everything like that, and they don't know how to do it, and they take it. They want to do it too bad and take it into their own hands. Something bad.
Maybe it's like
autoerotic asphyxiation.
Maybe it's like when you're trying to talk a guy and he's telling you it hurts, but he doesn't want you to pull it out, so you know it's enjoying it. I'm just making sure that you relate to it.
And I kind of have a feeling that this show is going to go along this like sexual path too. So be prepared. And on that note, we're going to take a break and we'll be right back.
Yikes.
Oh gosh, all right, we're back. Oh god, I'm still nervous from that last segment. What's up, Alex? How are you?
I'm good.
How was your weekend?
Great.
Wow. Did you leave the house?
I leave what? Wait.
Did you leave the house?
Yeah, I actually had an interesting weekend. Like, remember a couple months ago I was talking about this kickboxer guy I was dating. I ran into him, and then I ran into this guy I was doing the DUI classes at the same time.
If you haven't met Alex, she's an open book.
Do you kickboxing? So many awesome things.
Yeah. No, I was dating the guy.
Okay.
So, and I ran into them both the same night. It was my ex-boyfriend's birthday, so the three of them were together at the bar.
Like, who hasn't slept with me here?
So I'll buy a round for whoever I haven't hooked up with.
No, it was easier for me to say, whoever slept with me, buy me a drink.
Yeah.
Play the I never game, right? Everybody drinks.
So anyhow, we go to my ex-boyfriend's house because it's his birthday, and his girlfriend, it's with them, and you know, I'm messing out with this guy, like making out and getting all freaky and everything, and like, he thinks, oh my god, I'm getting laid right now. And then my ex, the one that's a fighter, texted me. He's like, well, just in case you want to know, because he lives in Oceanside, I'm hanging out on PV. If you wouldn't like hang out, I'll come by your house. And I live in City Heights, and I was hanging out at PV when he texted me. So I was like, it's funny, I'm in PV.
Now, before, like, and see, I've heard this story, and there's actually like a finish line to this, like a punch. Well, that's not a punch line, but there's
where we're going with it.
There's something to the end of this. So I want to cover like something that's happened recently in San Diego, because this is going to go into this. Yeah. Well, everyone's going to figure it out after this. So last week, anyway, the San Diego City Council awarded $51,000 for like needle exchange programs. Okay.
Out of a camper.
Yes, out of a camper in like in 5 of the districts of San Diego. One of them being our district, District 3, and the council member who opposed it. The one was Carl DeMaio. But this kind of goes with the question of how do you all feel about in our community out of a camper having a needle exchange program? So this is, you know, for people who are using intravenous. Is that the right word? Intravenous.
Yes, I love that you looked at me. Like
you're the writer, girl.
Needles and words. What?
Intravenous drug use and so on. So.
But this was no intravenous. He's a Marine.
No, okay, we're not going there yet.
I know, I'm just saying, like, okay, so this is where we're leading into, because he's a Marine, but he said he was using some synthetic drug. I don't know what it was, but to me it didn't look like he was using drugs, because I pride myself on knowing when somebody's using drugs, and I'm like, you know, I don't want to deal with you. So
what would, I mean, along those lines now, because you've experienced, putting yourself in a safe spot, or what do you feel about like having like this needle exchange thing?
I don't know. I don't like anything to do with needles. You know what I mean? Even though I just like do all this shit.
Okay, for the benefit of other people.
Hey, if it's good for them, let it happen.
If it doesn't hurt anyone, then it's helping, right?
But what is it like? What's the problem that it's being doing on a camper or something?
What do you think about it?
Well, the way it's being done too in North Park, and the arguments of North Park community are saying that it's being done in a camper. It's which was a way to get around like certain ordinances and all that, and it's in view of the public library.
And do they feel like it's bringing more riffraff into the neighborhood?
I don't think that. I mean, I'm not a North Park
That would be my only concern. Like if you were not, like, say it's in the middle of Mission Hills and you weren't usually the go-to place for people to change their needles out, then suddenly your lawn is covered in people wanting to change their needles out.
That's not going to happen in Mission Hills.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's kind of the whole not in my backyard sort of thing. But I think overall it's a good thing to do.
So the whole thing is like, it's not for anyone using narcotics then, right? It's only for prescription, or is
No. It's a safe point. So basically
if you bring in any needle, they're going to change it.
Right, and it's geared more towards drug use.
And are there also counselors there? Are people, if somebody wanted to seek help?
There's counselors. There's referral services. They can exchange up to 30 needles. And like San Diego being like is the third highest rate for AIDS infections, and the second highest in California through needle use.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I personally think I'm not going to put a label on North Park, but I mean I do think that there's a lot of drug use. One, not only North Park, but Hillcrest. I mean I've seen it.
What about downtown? What about?
Well, there's also one in downtown too.
Yeah.
So there's two. But I think it's a great thing. I mean it's a safe point. So it's allowing drug users, and I've seen friends who have shot up drugs like years ago and saw what it does to them and like them and their infections and so on. So I personally think it's a fabulous idea.
I like the idea, like in the sense that obviously it can cut down on transactions of HIV and everything like that, but at the same time I feel like I'm hesitant on saying I think it's like awesome.
Yeah.
Because at the same time it's
good for them.
Yeah, it's people. It's still obviously it's giving them a way to maybe keep doing drugs where maybe they're like, hey, maybe I wouldn't share my needle, but now that I have 30 fresh needles.
Would you want that camper on your street? No, because these people would be coming, and then you think, oh.
But what you just said, wouldn't you kind of relate this to years ago when there was the whole thing with public schools providing condoms? Like the kids are going to have sex, and now that the schools are offering these condoms, don't you think it would allow? The argument then was that people will they're just going to constantly have sex.
Yeah,
because
I don't think it's encouraging them to do more drugs. It's just doing it like in a safer way,
Yeah.
They're going to do them anyway.
Yeah, I know.
Cutting down on the health risks.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, I've personally never done any drug by shooting up or anything like that, but I mean, all I know is like what I've read about it and everything, and that it's extremely addicting, and once it starts it's really like they're going to keep going anyways. So I guess in that sense it definitely is like I'm not 100% against it by any means, but at the same time it's still like helping people, maybe not like promoting it for them to do it like easier, but I feel like it's helping people to continue doing drugs.
Yeah. So
they're gonna do it regardless.
So would you, if you ever came across somebody, tying into you, Alex, came across somebody that was and I don't know if this happens in your guys' community. I don't know. If you hook up with somebody you met at a bar or something like that and they were high, would you continue to have sex? How would you handle this?
If the sex was good.
Hold on. No, you know what? This is the thing. Like I said, I take pride in knowing when somebody is high, because you can see the symptoms. They're just going like, and they're sweaty, and there's a distinctive smell on their sweat, It's not like
you don't
regular.
sweat when you have sex?
Yeah, but it's a different smell on the
what
sweat.
they're on, too.
Yeah.
But I mean, back in the day when I was doing it, too, then I didn't care. Because
but you can smell. There's like a smell in the sweat. Plus, if it's a guy, he can't get a full erection.
And that right there.
I don't know if that's necessarily
true. It doesn't really bother me because, I'm pretty versatile, so...
You can just
I could just be like, fuck it, turn around, motherfucker, and I don't care. But this is the thing.
I got this.
Yeah. Right?
You're like the raccoon.
I think like to me it's dirty when they're doing that, it's like too much.
Even if somebody was like on pot?
Oh, that's different. That
just dumbs them down.
Yeah. I mean, I smoke weed and I've had sex, and it's good.
Does it happen in I know in my community it's
I've dealt with it personally with like a girl who I met and everything like that, but she was on E. when I was at a bar and
You were
everything like
loving
Which is
that.
great for
And you were loving it.
No. So like, I found out she was on E and everything like that, and I was like, okay, it was a rave night and everything. And I
Did it
was
take
like,
you a while to find out? Like, were you? She's all,
well, I was.
and you're
No,
like,
she was
hey,
like-
you're really nice.
She was still
Maybe
calm.
still
Like it
didn't figure it
hadn't hit her yet. Like
She's so into me.
it hadn't hit her yet. So I was working like at a bar, and she like gave me her number. We were like talking stuff like that, and she left. And she texted me like once she got home. She's like, "Wow, this really just hit me. Like this is why I don't like taking E." And I was like, "Okay, like you know what?
come
Like
and calm me
I was like, I'll still hang out with you because maybe you just did it because it was like a rave night or something like that." We hung out one other time, and like as we were like hanging out, she's like taking painkillers and stuff like that, like over and over again. She's like, "Yeah, I've got like a problem." I mean, like, so I'm down to like 15 a day or something like that. And I was like,
What?
"You're down to
Like
15 a day?"
Admitting
Like
to the first
15 pills a day?
Yeah, like, but I mean, they weren't like big ones or anything. Like,
Oh, okay, then.
Exercise
That's
after
okay.
that.
but they were
Vitamins
Norcos
that
still,
day.
so they were still like, and we were out like drinking, and I didn't know she was like taking pills at the same time, and we're like drinking, and she's like, I was like, I want to go home now.
See, but you
like,
know up front, like this guy, I'm known for like almost a year, and then like he's in the Marines, you know, and you don't expect.
You're
the
not
guy-
allowed to.
Yeah,
They do random
exactly.
tests.
So he said, you know, we just tried this synthetic thing and whatever. So I was like, when like he didn't tell me
This synthetic thing.
whatever synthetic. I'm Mexican, bitch. Remember?
No, I wasn't talking about your accent. I was talking about his
But I'm
quote.
saying like he was acting pretty normal. Until like in the middle of it, like I guess he cannot keep his heart on, and he goes, "Well, you know, I just want you to know that I tried this shit. How do you feel about it?" He didn't even say
It's called
like
steroids.
Yeah. No. No.
It's
It was
better
like
if it was
they
HGH.
sniffed some
Yeah.
shit. So he said, "You know, I got some in the bag. Would you like to try it?" I said, "Look, I got fucking high blood pressure. I cannot mess with none of that shit."
Right.
So then like he's like, well, he started freaking out all of a sudden and everything. So I get him some milk and you know, he
Milk.
calmed
See,
down.
oh, Bill. Well, you knew what to do.
Yeah.
I just think that you would be on like a completely other like wavelength.
Well, if
I
it
mean,
was,
like,
if it was
the chemistry would be a little.
well,
off,
you know
is
what? If
I
it was
think.
somebody
one
I
night stand is a
didn't knew
one night
or I didn't
stand,
care
right?
for, I mean, regardless of anything, I still have feelings for people I date, you
Right.
know. And then like I felt bad for him because he didn't know what the hell he was doing.
Well, you're born to be a housewife.
Exactly.
All right, with that, we're gonna take another little break, and we'll be right back.
Stay forever.
Hey, we are back. Amber,
Hello.
hey, lady.
Hi.
What's going on?
I've had a busy month. Where do you want to
Oh.
start? I've had
Well, let's
events
catch up.
every day for the last 40 days. That's more than a month. An event. But I've had some cool stuff. I did the opening for the San Diego Yacht Club for their regatta season, and I poured wine there, and I set up right next to the Marine Band, and it was pretty cool. It's neat. They had cannons going and
Were they fancy?
lots of rich people and children dressed up in yachting outfits. It was pretty cool.
They had cans.
Cannons.
Oh, cannons.
Yeah, loud,
Really?
earth-shaking
Cannons are
cannons. Yeah, like
Was this past weekend in OB, or is it like?
this is actually the previous weekend in Shelter Island, the
okay.
San Diego Yacht Club. It was a pretty neat event.
How many people?
It was really fun. Oh, there are hundreds of people there. Yeah, it was
What did
pretty
you-
neat.
Sorry, what did you do for it?
I poured wine. I poured one of my wineries is the house wine at the yacht club now, so I poured that wine. It was Bliss Winery, and I just poured free wine. So all the old guys would come. It was just a tasting. These old guys would come up and go, "Is that all I get?" You know. So I just poured them a full glass and say good night. I stumble back up for more, then they'd be asleep in their chair.
Yeah.
Yes, 70-year-old guys.
Do you see like the type of the demographic that's? I'm curious about the demographic that goes to these things.
It was neat. Well, you know, it's definitely kind of a hoity-toity crowd in a way, but very cool. One thing that was pretty touching is that when the Marine Band was playing, they had a covered area where a lot of the older yacht club members were sitting, and they were all members that had been, you know, on the board of the yacht club over the years. And so they would have them, the guys would stand up and the military band would play their music. They'd stand up and salute, or everyone would salute them, and it was all these old guys, and kind of brought a tear to my eye. It was really neat.
Yeah,
It was neat to see. Then people do cool stuff. They had, you know, kids that win races and do all these yachting events.
It's like
That was pretty
activities
neat.
like the whole
yeah.
day for the whole family.
Yeah, that was,
For the upper class.
that's fun. And then
right, for the 1% in San
that same
Diego.
day, I did a 5-year anniversary party for Wine Styles in Coronado, and that was for their wine club members. There were like 200 people there. It was pretty fun. Had a Titanic dinner on the anniversary, 100th anniversary of the Titanic at a friend's house, and we planned it for a long time. and he actually had Titanic dishware, like the dishes that were on the Titanic. So it was the same company. Well, it was the same company that made the dishware for the Titanic.
Go to the show with the
Go to the dishes and the glasses were the same age as if they would have survived the Titanic, but they were never on the Titanic.
Because those are actually at the bottom of the ocean.
We had a
Southern natural history.
We had a 12-course menu, and we did every course. And then as I did more research, I realized that back in the day of the Titanic, they did do 12 courses, but you would waive off courses you didn't want. So you would just wave it off, and the server would pass you. But we did all 12 courses. We were so stuffed. We didn't finish till 3 a.m. The ship was already sunk.
Well, that's why people back then, that's why they wore corsets, too. Because they're eating 12 fucking corsets.
Did you do the menu? Did you do the actual menu?
I did the actual menu. I made the oysters a la Russe.
Which is...
I shucked fresh oysters. I went to Chesapeake Bay Fish Company. I had to go at 7 o'clock. It was an underhanded deal. 7 o'clock at night. Picked up the oysters. And it was a sauce that had tomato and horseradish and vodka in it. It was delicious. I served it over crushed ice. Yeah, it was pretty neat. And our last course was cheese and cigars and dessert wine.
Oysters are...
Cigars are a course?
Aren't oysters supposed to make you, like, horny, too?
You want to find out?
They're supposed to.
I'm a little uncomfortable right now.
They have to be raw. They have to be raw.
They do. They're an aphrodisiac. Oysters are.
Were we not talking about sex long enough for you? Like, there was like a 10-minute gap where sex wasn't the topic, and
well,
we were like,
between two women right now. That's never happened. I've never been sandwiched before.
We all dressed in Titanic attire, so we all had outfits of the era.
That would be fun.
It was a real. I think we want to do it every year. Like, this is better than Christmas or Easter or anything. We're going to do it every year. I have pictures. I'll show you.
Okay.
I would love to. I would actually.
We took videos too.
I would love to dress in drag as a Titanic woman.
You want to be Rose?
Don't lie. On camera.
We did
You
videos.
so want to be Rose?
You get on
Don't
point
lie.
and everything, like take your shoes off and just stand up on point.
We made videos of the evacuation. I'm like, I'm a first class woman. Woman in Toby first.
I would have been like elbowing the kid out of the way. I have a strong survival instinct.
Shoot.
And then so on this last Sunday, I helped throw a baby shower for a friend, and her mother lives in La Jolla in this very nice house, and it's a mansion. She lives there by herself, and so we thought it'd be fun to ride in the elevator because she had an elevator. So there were 4 of us in this tiny elevator, and it broke. And so we're going down, and all of a sudden it just hits the floor like clunk. And I was like, shit. And then one of my friends didn't want to get in. She said she's claustrophobic. We're like, oh, it's fine. And she was like, and we're like, come on, you're gonna suckle the air. Just calm down.
So did you go on Facebook and actually make an update, tell people what you're doing, and
Kat did. Kat went on Facebook, posting pictures of us stuck in the elevator.
Did you really do that?
She totally did. She went on Facebook.
So I mean?
And then her mom was like, I heard it was on Facebook, and then she was all worried about it because it was her house.
How long were you stuck? Sorry.
We were probably in there for like 20 minutes, but it felt like a really long time.
Pretty long.
And then so I'm on the phone in the elevator calling the company. She's like, they'll come out right away. She's screaming at us, and they're all laughing because they thought we were just pulling their leg. We're like, no, we're really stuck.
We're freaking the F out right now.
Well, and because I brought up the Facebook thing because Alejandro was talking shit about people's Facebook statuses to me earlier.
Well, I could change it.
But you were agreeing with me.
Rescued.
No, not you. Like your sexual. Not sexual.
Again, as I said. Penises.
No, not your like single. What is that called when you're single, married, or whatever?
Status.
Relationship status.
I'm not talking about that.
I need to make
Yeah, no, we're talking about like what people post us in there.
Mine should just say perpetual single.
But we're not talking about like relationship status. It's like every 5 minutes somebody posts
your
some
update.
different shit. Yeah, it's.
I'm that asshole. I post something every 5 minutes.
Is that your status?
But
I'm an
I do
asshole.
not post as often as Aaron.
Great, and I just accepted
Aaron posts more often than
Right,
I've
that's
ever.
the same.
That's what she was going with.
Yeah, I was like, Kurt and Aaron has to be the 2 people that post most shit on Facebook.
But you know what?
today.
It's interesting shit.
It is.
It's shit you
I
should
really
read.
feel like
It's either they only post it. I'm sorry. It's funny or it's interesting. Go ahead.
I was just completely agreeing with you. Like I see Aaron's stuff and I like click, and whereas like everyone in between him, like, where's Aaron's next? Oh, there it is.
Well, you know what? Every now and then I do read some of the shit that Aaron posts, but I would never read shit
Well, you
that
changed your
post.
status.
You know what? I'm bored. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, and I post I'm horny, and it's just like I'm not trying to.
For the record, that was
That's a lame
last.
status.
For the record, that was yesterday at 8:30 p.m.
Well, you know, I mean, like, I'm not really trying to hook up. You know, I got like 200 numbers on my fucking phone I
And a
can
fact
call.
checker.
You know, so I'm just like, I'm bored reading all the people's status, and you go back and back and back, and it's the same shit.
Well, now you're friends with me. We just added today, so you won't be bored anymore.
Okay.
Well, and I think it goes with, because you were saying that, Aaron, you were the one saying that, like, his posts are like really, like he posts all the
Listen,
time.
I said Aaron and Kurt.
Okay, well, and Kurt.
And you said Kurt was getting on your nerves too, and then you were like, "Bitch, if we're throwing people under the bus, let's go, bitch."
We are shit talking.
So let's now get our opinions. Now, here's my view on Facebook, and I'm curious what everyone's view on Facebook is. My view is I get a lot of good information about, like Aaron's posts, I get a lot of good information about rights and things that are going on in the news. In all honesty, I get a lot of my news from there. I get a lot of my humor from, like, your kind of post about I'm horny. And I'm like, what the hell is this? Because I would never post something like that. And then I see other posts, and this is only my opinion, but I see Facebook turning into wars against people that I like, and I like both people, or I'll just say in general, like you see these personal wars going on that I'm like, I'm done, I can't take, like, and that I find it as, like, you're using it as a negative way.
Yeah.
And I personally believe Facebook should be used as a positive way, and that's my opinion.
You agree to disagree on Facebook. It's not a forum for you to argue.
You know what? I hold myself a lot of times from seeing like somebody attacking me, and they don't go directly, but you know what they're saying, and I could be like, I could be a total fucking bitch.
No.
And I just really hold myself in, because it's like you were saying, like most of the postings, I don't read every posting Aaron posts because sometimes I get so over it.
It would take 12 hours.
Yeah. And every now and then I see a posting from him, Courtney, and then I'll click on it and I'll read it, and it's interesting.
Right. So, but I'm not, I get it.
So you're saying it needs to be funny or informative?
No, it can be whatever you want. That's one of our rights, the freedom to speech.
Yeah.
But I'm like, and you have that option of who are your friends.
I mean, you got people posting like, I'm in the bathroom taking a fucking crap right now.
But I hate that when people invite you to join games. It's like, screw you. I don't want to play your stupid game.
I don't play games on Facebook. I never use Facebook that often, so I never get like annoyed by people. Like, people always complain.
Didn't we get an invite last week after we left the show?
About what?
Like, they're always like, people complain. They're just like, oh, this person posts too much. This person posts too much.
You can always hide them.
But yeah, you can. I've hidden many people. Like, I've hidden some of my exes because
I'll just absolutely, if they're negative, I delete them.
Yeah, but hiding them also, that there's still value in things of what people say, and you don't want to miss every, like, in all honesty, like,
what are you gonna miss?
But let me tell you who I love having on my Facebook. But it never really posts that much. Ophelia, she hardly ever gets on fucking Facebook just to check in.
So we're gonna going on to what's happening in
we don't get paid for the show.
Yeah. this Thursday is Dining Out for Life. In the works for months. I personally am very excited about this because I've been working hard along with a lot of people at the center, so very excited for that. Y'all know Dining Out for Life is
Thursday.
Yep.
Yeah. Thursday. Good job. Where are you guys going? Do you have plans? What's happening?
I don't know which guy I'm going to see Thursday, so it depends on who.
And
wants to take her out for dinner.
All right. It's an all-day event, so it could be.
Is it too late to volunteer?
It's not too late
on the bus. I want to volunteer.
What? Breakfast, lunch, dinner, late night?
Bitch, I am not working.
We'll discuss after the show, and I would really like to volunteer.
And if anybody still wants to volunteer, you can still go online and register at www.thecentersd.org and go to the Dining Out for Life under the Events tab, or you can call Jerry at the center and sign up that way. But we still do need volunteers. I mean, we're short a few volunteers, but it'd be great to put like volunteers in restaurants like constantly. So, are you going out?
Yeah, I think so. And on the website the center put up, it actually says who's donating what.
Yeah.
And I saw that Our Gang Eatery seems to be the only one donating 100%. And there are a lot of them at 50, but I mean that's amazing. So I'll probably look by the percentage and see who's available for that.
And I know that Our Gang is full for the night.
Okay.
But they're still doing lunch. And it's also like there's some smaller places too that are brand new, like Local Habit on 5th.
Oh, I want to volunteer there.
Oh yeah, we're actually going
today. They just announced that they're going to actually end up donating 50%.
Oh.
And they're a first-year participant too, so it's like
okay. Then I'll be going there because I just went there for the first time, and that place is awesome.
Yeah, and they do like fundraisers every Monday too. which is
every Monday.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I just did one there.
Did you?
Yeah, I helped my friend. She was doing the Susan G. Coleman walk. Let's not go into that whole story thing. She raised a good amount of money. They gave $1 from each appetizer that they feature. They give $1 from every drink and every beer.
Nice.
Yeah.
And she got to keep all her tips. She raised like $800 in one night. So it was
awesome.
pretty cool.
I'm gonna come out. I'm gonna come out with probably some friends. And I'm gonna.
We thought you were straight.
That doesn't mean anything. We are all affected by HIV and AIDS.
I know. No, he said I'm going to come
The way I
out.
said.
I think you two need. I think you two need to talk. Let me tell you. I think you two should talk because I think something good can come out.
Love is in the air.
I have a slave.
I'm just saying you can never.
He's back there wearing my collar.
But you can never have many slaves, you know.
They take a lot of work. If you knew.
Really?
Yeah.
Just waiting for the dominatrix portion of this show.
It was in the beginning. Yeah. Well, I could do a whole one on that. Yeah.
Well, maybe Olive will come.
I would love that.
But Olive is like,
Very dominating. Yeah, we got to work on getting the Brass Rail signed up for next year's Dining Out for Life.
Yeah, we're not. I mean, right now we're not open on the Thursdays, which is why like it didn't work out this year. But hopefully by next year we'll have like good events going on and definitely get signed
maybe
up.
Alejandra needs to step into a Thursday
because there's
night
some
at the Brass
restaurants
Rail.
that will do like I think it's Adams Avenue or Kensington is doing it all throughout the Kensington.
Adams Avenue Grill is
Adams all throughout the weekend. So it's also something like even if you're not open on a Thursday, you can choose to do it on another day and still donate 25%.
That's great.
That's awesome.
So, other things going on this week, Diversionary Theater has just opened a new show called The Pride, which takes place in 1958 and it goes up to 2008, and it's like a love triangle, which is interesting. And then you guys here at the Brass Rail this Friday have Wired, which if I didn't work Friday nights I would come because it's live bands.
Yeah, we have it's every second and fourth Friday we do it. It opens up at 9 o'clock and we have a live band, or it might just be a singer with a guitar, sometimes it's a full band.
Who can participate?
They go on.
Anybody that wants to?
I mean, we have we have one band like booked every week, so it's one who does it each week, and it always changes and stuff like that. But it's really fun. And then DJ and everything like that afterwards. So people come, relax, watch the show. Like a lot of times they'll do some covers and stuff like that. It's really cool.
That's good for this area too. I think that's
yeah.
And then also coming up on Saturday is the big Rough Skin, based out of San Diego, is Rough Skin clothing line, which has been here a long time, and they have stores throughout the world. They have their fashion show at Riches on Saturday night. Congrats to them, and also good luck to my friends Jason and Timmy, and I hope you don't fall on your face. Because they're modeling. It'll be fabulous. So, we are They Said, and that's another week. Thank you, Barbarella.
My pleasure.
You're fabulous.
Thanks for having me. Oh, stop it. Yeah.
We'll see you next week.